afternoon, everyone. On this beautiful day after Memorial Day. I'm Deputy Commissioner Tony Guerrera of the DMV, and it's my honor today to have the governor and other members of the legislature and the commissioner and myself here and other commissioners from DAS in participation in regards to what we've seen here at the DMV. So we have a few speakers here today, and I'd like to go through them. First and foremost is the commissioner of the Department of Motor Vehicle, who has a few words to say, who's been here now for 3.5 years, and I could say that has seen a dramatic change under her leadership, and that is Commissioner Sabangile Magobani.
I'm going to change my glasses, I think. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for coming to Wethersfield. Welcome to sunny Wethersfield, home of the Connecticut DMV. I'd like to first introduce our guest and thank Mark Raymond, our partner, Chief Technology Officer for the state of Connecticut, Senator Haskell, ranking member of the Transportation Committee, and Governor Lamont. Thank you both. I'm going to stop looking at you guys because I lose my voice here. I would like to thank Senator Haskell and Governor Lamont for all the tremendous support that they've provided to the DMV. I want to thank Governor Lamont for his vision of an all-digital government for the state of Connecticut. As Governor Lamont stated 3 years ago, that he wanted an all-digital government where we looked at every transaction from the end user's shoes. We needed to get offline to online. And that's exactly what we have done these last 3 years. Without that vision, I'm not sure that we would be here. We came into DMV, and I'm saying we, and I'm referencing to Deputy Commissioner Guerrera, really with the governor's vision. And he stated that in order to achieve a vision, you need the right people in place, the right vision, and the right tools to do that. And we were fortunate enough to find the right people at the DMV. What they had were the skills to get the job done, and what they needed was the vision. And that's what the Governor Lamont provided for us. We've been able to move over 20 transactions online. We have reduced the wait times to less than 20 minutes. Historically, when citizens of Connecticut came to the DMV, it was really luck of the draw if they were able to get through with their transactions, because we were not always clear on what they needed to bring in order to be successful. That has dramatically been reduced. What's next? We are now looking at really overall overhauling our website, because the website is key to ensuring that everyone understands what to expect when they arrive at the DMV, how long it's going to take, and also when and how and what they need to complete their transaction. So that's what's next. What else is next? We're also looking to upgrade the appointment system, because in the past, as you know, most of our transactions were done in person. And then we introduced an appointment system, but it's not integrated. And so in the future, when you want to establish an appointment at the DMV, you'll be able to look at multiple transactions. You'll know exactly how long it's going to take. In today's world, you can only do one transaction, and then if you have another appointment, come back. But in the future, you'll be able to stack up your transactions, come in one and done, and we will know what you're coming to do. And so we're very, very excited at where we are going with the DMV, and we're very, very excited, and I think we're very, very lucky, really, as an agency, to have a governor who had a vision around the digital government, and he provided the resources. Both the governor and Senator Haskell provided us the necessary resources to actually be able to achieve the vision. So I'm really happy to be here, and I will turn the podium back to Deputy Tony Guerrera.
Thank you, Commissioner. And next on our list, let me call up Mark Raymond. Mark, come on up. All yours.
Thank you, Deputy. Thank you, everyone. The promise of a digital government isn't just to help the folks who are online, right? It allows us to better spend our resources for those people who need it, and to be a government that can meet people where they are. And so the groundbreaking work that our Connecticut Department of Transportation is doing under the leadership of Commissioner Magabani really sets the stage for allowing our citizens and residents the ability to interact with us the way that they want, making it simple, making it multilingual, making it available when people would like to do business instead of coming in and waiting with us. So really making those services available more online and more easy to find. And so I think that you'll see that the work that's being done here, the DMV is really a forerunner for much of the work that we are doing across the state. We're thrilled to have such a great partner in bringing our transactions available to the public, and look forward to bringing much more to you in the days and months ahead. So thank you.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you for your leadership in helping us move our transactions online. Next, we have the Senate Chair of the Transportation Committee, Senator Will Hassan. Would like to say a few words. Senator?
Good afternoon, and thank you so much to Deputy Commissioner Guerrera. Thank you to Commissioner Magubani and her entire team here at the DMV for hosting me, as well as and allowing me to join Governor Lamont at this exciting tour and press conference. When I became a state senator 4 years ago, some of the very, very first emails that I got, some of the most common emails that I got, were from constituents who needed help renewing a license, needed help finding an appointment for a commercial driver's license, needed help signing up for a learner's permit. All sorts of interactions that folks had with the DMV that simply took too long. The processes were too cumbersome, and they required taking time out of their day. They required single working parents in between, showing up to their job and getting their kids to school and cooking dinner. It required them to also find an hour or 2 or 3 to go to their local DMV branch and try to complete that transaction. I don't get those emails anymore. I don't get them because we've got a governor who, in his very first address to the legislature, said he wanted to get people online, not in line. He appointed a commissioner who came from the private sector, who was ready and willing and in fact eager to do things differently, to think outside the box about how we approach these complicated transactions, and to bring license renewals, for example, down to a process that can be as quick as 4 minutes. A friend of mine completed his license renewal just the other day. 4 minutes. Unbelievably quick. And government in the 21st century needs to be modern, but that's especially true as our state and as our nation faced a global pandemic. I know so many of my constituents appreciated the opportunity to do a whole host of transactions with the DMV without leaving the comfort and safety of their own home. Just between January of 2021 and June of 2021, when all of us were scrambling to find vaccines and masks and plexiglass, the DMV completed 131 transactions online. The pandemic, if there's a silver lining, it accelerated the progress that this agency was making. And the proof is really in the pudding. As we had an opportunity to walk around the waiting area, there really weren't very many folks waiting. And those who were said that they expected their transaction to be completed in just a few minutes. So we are so lucky to have Commissioner Magubani in charge here at the DMV. We're so lucky to have Deputy Commissioner Tony Guerrera, and more broadly, I am tremendously grateful to work alongside a governor who appreciates the opportunity to do things differently, and who every single day works to bring our government into the 21st century, and who has successfully brought so many people online and out of inline. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Haskell. Before I turn it over to the governor, I'd like to say a few words. I'm, as you know, Deputy Commissioner Tony Guerrera, and I would like everyone to take a quick second here, especially the media, is I want you to take a look at this. I really do. Because usually the day after Memorial Day, 3 years ago, when the commissioner and I were in that office, staring at a line of people down to the parking lot, that has not happened today because we have a governor, again, we have a governor that gave us the resources and the tools to make sure the quality of life for every Connecticut resident or people that want to come into our state as easy as possible. Governor, I want to thank you for that, sincerely from the bottom of my heart. This is what it's all about, folks. It's about making sure that we take care of our citizens out there, that we are not a bureaucracy, that we want to streamline our multitask functions here. And also, as you heard from Sen Will Hassan, I was very humbled, believe it or not, to be in the legislature and then have this tremendous opportunity to be the Deputy Commissioner of this Department of Motor Vehicles with Commissioner Magubani. And let me tell you, as the chair of that committee, we would get complaints every single day. And as Senator Haskell alluded to, those complaints don't happen anymore because of the leadership of Governor Lamont and his team and having the faith in Commissioner Magubani to get people out of line and put them online. That's what it's all about, folks. That's what leadership is all about. And that is why I am so proud to announce our governor of the state of Connecticut, Governor Ned Lamont.
All right, good morning, everybody. Tony said it, and Will said it, and I'll say it. I'm out there campaigning and talking to people. People were mad as hell about DMV. And DMV was sort of the front door in terms of what they saw about state government. And when they were waiting in line and having a hard time getting a license renewed, taking off half a day, they were mad about that. And often they had to wait and wait and wait, and they thought, this is typical of government. So for me, when it comes to going from inline to online, I really wanted to start with DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, our forward-facing place. The folks here are coming, they're our customers. We got to treat them like customers. The customers are always right. And more importantly, they don't have to come here anymore. Bongi told me that we've done 750,000 online transactions so far this year. 750,000 people that didn't have to take half a day off from work. 750,000 fewer people in a car driving back and forth. And those that have to come in because they're getting their license for the first time, which is one of the people I met, they get a little more personal attention now because it's not as crowded. And I'll tell you, Bongi, where'd you go? You know, people are saying, what, you want somebody from the IT leadership group over at the Aetna? Is that really what Department of Motor Vehicles requires? That's exactly what we required. In order to accelerate what we're doing to make sure that we make this the most forward-facing, customer-friendly operation we can. And that's what we've done. And as Mark Raymond said, our amazing Chief Technology Officer, you know, we're just getting started. Anytime I see a line, my hair's on fire. Anytime I hear from the business community, oh, I had to go to Environment and Protection, then I had to go over to a DECD, then I had to go to Workforce. Now you go to one place, and we answer your questions and do that as easy as we can. You go over to the Department of Social Services, and oh, well, for WIC I have to go to Public Health, but for Medicaid I'm good here, and for SNAP benefits I got to wait in another line. We're moving that to one-stop shopping, so no more waiting in line, making it easier for you to get the services that you need. You know, we were particularly hard hit a couple of years ago when COVID hit us, and we had hundreds of thousands of people who virtually overnight lost their job and were looking for unemployment. And we had everybody dialing into the Department of Labor at the same time, waiting and getting frustrated. And Mark has just reminded me that in about a month, on July 5th, we're moving the Department of Labor's unemployment comp claims online as well. Something that's been in the makes for a while, but just different ways we're trying to continue to make this transition, to make this a little more friendly, customer friendly when it comes to what we got to do in state government. So I just want to thank each and every one of you and setting an example around the state and giving people a little sense that maybe we can make some progress and remind people this is a government working for them. Thanks.
Oh, thank you, Governor. Any questions?
Elaborate a little on the governor's statistic he just threw out there. 750,000 transactions done this year, this calendar year, this fiscal year.
Over the last 2 years.
Over the last 2 years.
Yep, since 2021, I'm sorry. Since 2021, we've got almost close to 750,000. Commissioner, why don't you come on up?
Is that a calendar year or a fiscal year?
I believe it's calendar year.
Thank you.
Calendar year.
Well, what's interesting is each transaction is rolled out in a different schedule. So really, it's over a 1-year horizon since the project started. That's what we're talking about.
Can you talk a little more about pandemic era changes that are staying in place?
Sure.
You want to start?
Well, listen. COVID hit the state pretty bad, right? And the governor put all the forces out there to make sure that we had to do what we had to do. DMV didn't shut its doors. We ended up, making sure that we're making our employees safe, our customers safe. But one thing we know what we had to do, and the commissioner and the governor's administration knew, is that we had to get people out of line, but make sure that we can get them an appointment system. And that's what we did. That appointment system is going to stay with us today, tomorrow, and for the future of DMV. And we're going to enhance that appointment system as we move forward.
Can I just, I think, she wanted the others, like for plexiglass, that's going to stay. The opportunity, because we also know that there are elder out there who need to come in person. And so we will make sure that if they need an appointment in person, that's available. What else? A lot of organizational changes for improved service delivery that we've implemented internally. All of those things, of course, are going to stay because we've operationalized those changes, and we're just much more efficient in how we deliver services.
Governor, you often bring up the DMV when you're talking about sort of modernizing. Do you think this agency has some sort of symbolic status for you as far as how people interface with the government?
Yeah, I think going to DMV is often the very first state government experience that many young people have. And then every, 4 years and thereafter, it can be burdensome. And I heard about that, and Will heard about that, and Tony heard about that wherever he went. So for me to make DMV, one of our showcases in terms of how we can slowly transform government, make sure it's more customer friendly, and make sure you have a sense that we're making progress was symbolically very important, and very important to a lot of people who saved hours.
Can you tell us a little more about the unemployment? You brought up the unemployment system. What's happening with that? Is this the long-awaited?
Yeah, this is, Paul, long-awaited, and some delays during COVID, but you remember it was very manual, very labor-intensive, very people-intensive, and we're not able to keep up with a load of unemployment claims, the likes of which we hadn't seen since the Great Depression. Now we'll be much better able to do that. Much more of this is done electronically. Most of this is inputted, employer and employee alike, making it much easier. You still have a fair number of protests, so we're working on the software as well to be able to answer some of that. But Mark, do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Thank you, Governor. Very exciting times. The new system that's being put in for the Department of Labor allows us to be more flexible. So when programs change, when new unemployment programs come out, they can adjust much more rapidly. So as the governor mentioned, the ability to do more online and have it be more streamlined is one of the important things, but the ability for us to be more reactive as a government. So when new things happen, our technology will keep up with us is what we're really looking for.
And what about the Department of Social Services changes you said? What? Yeah.
Certainly. So if many of you are familiar with our business.ct.gov, which is the one-stop for our business community, we have a similar effort underway right now for our health and human service community, which is called MyCT. And that'll be one place to go for you to manage your benefits, regardless of the programs. So as you can imagine, with the multiple different kinds of benefit programs we have, it's a relatively complex program. But later this fall, you'll see the first release of MyCT for Health and Human Services that will unite our SNAP and WIC programs. And we'll take some of the great work that's been happening with Commissioner Gifford and Commissioner Gittani and bring that together as a foundation for bringing Governor Lamont's vision of one digital government together.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Sold. Thank you, everyone.